It's Christmas time. Not really though, we're actually not even close, but we're getting there, and because of that, I have an early look at the upcoming Air Jordan 11 holiday release. And not only that, but in the spirit of the holidays, I'm also giving this pair away to one of you guys, so make sure to stay tuned to find out how you can enter to win for yourself. What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler, and today I'm reviewing one of the most anticipated Air Jordan releases of the entire year, and that's the Air Jordan 11 Cherry. But before we get into things, I want to give a huge thank you to Whatnot for supporting the channel. If you've never heard of Whatnot, Whatnot is a live auction shopping platform that allows you to bid on things like sneakers and baseball cards and retro games and really anything that you'd ever be looking for 24 hours a day with auctions starting as low as just $1. And I'm talking about sneaker auctions starting as low as $1. It's kind of crazy. And not only that, but this Thursday, October 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I'll be going live on Whatnot to sell some of the sneakers from my collection and also give away this pair of Air Jordan 11 Cherries. One of my favorite things about Whatnot is that when I'm buying stuff on the platform, I'm actually able to see the product that I'm buying in full 360 and see every angle of that item. Not only that, I can also ask the seller any question that I want and get a response right then and there. And I gotta say that the Whatnot community is incredible. They're super helpful, they're there to have fun, and you can grab great items for great prices. But like I said, I'll be going live this Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Whatnot, and if you guys want to check it out and enter for a chance to win this pair of Air Jordan 11 Cherries, make sure to click that link in the top of the description below. And if you use that link to sign up for Whatnot, you get $10 towards your first purchase. So if you decide to buy some other sneakers from my Whatnot live stream, you essentially get $10 off. It's kind of crazy. Once again, if you want a chance to win this pair of Air Jordan 11 Cherries for yourself, like 2 months before they actually release, make sure to click that link in the top of the description below. Tune into my live stream this Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you sign up for Whatnot using that link, you get $10 towards your first purchase. It's a win-win. But now let's get back to the sneakers and how you can grab a pair if you don't win the Whatnot giveaway. The Air Jordan 11 Cherries officially released this year on December 10th for a retail price of $225. And the Cherry 11 should drop both on the sneakers app and at your local sneaker retailers, so it shouldn't be that hard to grab a pair for yourself. That being said, the annual Air Jordan 11 holiday release is always a popular release, and even if the shoe isn't reselling for that much, it tends to sell out very quickly. Now, crazily enough, even 2 months before the release of this shoe, there's already been some controversy surrounding this sneaker, and that's because about a month and a half ago, a couple pairs of these shoes and some other colorways of different Air Jordan models were stolen directly from Nike's shipping facilities, which actually led some people to believe that the release of this shoe was either canceled or pushed back. As of right now, it doesn't seem like that's the case, and not only that, I don't believe that most of the pairs on the secondary market are stolen pairs. I could be wrong about that. I grabbed my pair from GOAT. I believe that both GOAT and StockX canceled sales of these shoes after that incident, and Nike sort of figured everything out. At least I hope they figured everything out, but either way, the release of this shoe is already marred with some controversy, which is kind of crazy because the shoe hasn't even dropped yet. Now, as far as the actual cherry colorway of this shoe, this is actually the first time that we've seen this colorway on an Air Jordan 11 high. This colorway is based off of the Varsity Red Air Jordan 11 lows that first released back in 2001, and not only that, it also bears a striking resemblance to Blake Griffin's PE. Now, it is kind of interesting to see Jordan Brand release a brand new colorway as their big holiday Air Jordan 11 release. Over the last few decades, they've tended to release OG colorways or re-releases of popular colorways as their main holiday release, like the Cool Grays or the Concords, the Space Jams, or the Breads. That's not to say that we haven't had brand new colorways as the holiday releases, like the Gammas or the 72 and 10s, but it's not something that Jordan Brand does a lot. And while this colorway is not an OG colorway, at least on this silhouette, it kind of has that feel to it. It feels like an OG 11, and I know it's not, but red and white Air Jordan 11s, or red and white Jordans in general, always tend to feel like the originals. But with all that being said, let's first take a look at the box before we go any deeper into this Air Jordan 11. So it seems like in 2022, like the last couple years, Jordan Brand has decided to release their holiday Air Jordan 11s in the OG box. Now, I know the drawer boxes were not everyone's favorite, and I get that they were kind of difficult to get your shoes out of whenever you wanted to wear them, but at the same time, they felt a little bit more special than this shoe. And for a $225 pair of sneakers, you kind of hope that you're going to get special packaging in addition to a special shoe. However, that is not the case in this 2022 holiday release. Instead, you get the OG box with this black box top. You've got the Jordan text in white, the Jumpman in the middle in red, and then of course the bottom half of the box comes in gray. Moving to the front of the box, as you can see, we've got the size tag, and then also on the other side of the box, you've got the Flight Club or GOAT sticker because they're both the same company and I bought it from GOAT. And as you probably noticed, I had to grab a size 9.5 because that was the only pair on instant ship. Size 9s were not yet available, and the official colorway of this shoe is white Varsity Red Black. But now let's get into the materials that make up the Cherry Air Jordan 11s, and starting off around the bottom half of the upper, actually on the toe of the shoe, you've got this bright cherry red patent leather. Now red is my favorite color. It's been my favorite color since I was a kid, and I love having little accents of red on my shoes. I don't like entirely red shoes. Like, I'm not a huge Red October fan, other than the fact that it's like a Yeezy 2 and I love Yeezy 2s. But I think shoes like this that feature a lot of red but are not entirely red are very, very clean. And I think Jordan Brand did a great job with this color blocking. And plus, the red, because it's patent leather, it looks super shiny and super candy-like. I know it's not candy coating, but at the same time it kind of has that sort of candy vibe to it, and I just love the way it looks. Moving up from the patent leather, which unfortunately does crease a lot, so if you've never owned a pair of 11s before, keep that in mind because these are going to crease like crazy the more that you wear them. But moving up from that material, you get to this all-white ballistic mesh. Now this mesh material is a mainstay of the Air Jordan 11s. It's the material that you associate first with the Air Jordan 11s after the patent leather, and it's a material that stands up to a lot of wear. That's why it's called ballistic mesh. And in this white colorway, it contrasts the red so nicely. It's just such a great looking shoe. I really love the way this sneaker looks, and when I grab a pair in my size, I'm going to be rocking it all the time. Stitched on top of the ballistic mesh, you've got these white nylon straps, which of course are another iconic detail of the Air Jordan 11s, and these straps are used to hold the laces in place. On this colorway, you've got these fat white rope laces, which look incredible on this shoe, and underneath those laces, you've got more ballistic mesh on the tongue. Then stitched in the center of the tongue, you've got the one sort of detail on the entire tongue, and that's this iconic Jumpman Jordan patch. Then moving inside the sneaker, you've got this bright red sock liner, which unfortunately does not perfectly match the patent leather on the shoe, but it's pretty close. It's really hard to match these two different materials. And then rounding off the inside of the shoe, you've got a red insole with the white Jumpman printed on the heel. Now something that kind of disappointed me about this release is that instead of having your standard plastic shoe, I guess they're not standard, but those classic plastic shoe trees that you had on the holiday releases of the Air Jordan 11s, on this release you only get some paper, which is fine. I guess it's more environmentally friendly, and that's great, but at the same time, it makes the shoe feel a little bit less premium than those little plastic shoe trees did. Like, they really made the shoe feel like something special. This just kind of feels like another Air Jordan 11, which for $225 is kind of a bummer. But now let's get into sizing and fit of the Air Jordan 11 Cherries. Now, as you guys saw, I was not able to grab my true size, but I've talked to a lot of different people. This shoe does fit just like every other pair of Air Jordan 11s. I like to go true to size in my Jordan 11s. I know some people feel like they can be a little bit snug. I prefer to go true to size, and I'm happy with it. If you've never tried on a pair of 11s before, try to go down to your local sneaker resale store, or maybe a friend has a pair of 11s. Try those shoes on first before you buy them to make sure that you're grabbing the right size for you. Otherwise, I would probably recommend going true to size. If they're a little tight, just loosen up the laces, or you can trade them away, or whatever you need to do. But if you don't have the option to try this shoe on first, if you've never worn a pair of Air Jordan 11s before, I would just say go true to size and you should be okay. Continuing back on the lateral side of the sneaker, you've got this white leather patch that wraps all the way around the heel, and of course you've got your embroidered red Jumpman, which is kind of a mainstay of the Air Jordan 11s. Like that ballistic mesh, all the high Air Jordan 11s feature this Jumpman on the lateral side, the lows feature it on the heel, but I think it's just one of those iconic Air Jordan 11 touches that if it wasn't there, or I guess we could look at the medial side, it just doesn't feel the same. Then finally moving to the back of the shoe, you've got your 23 logo printed onto the sock liner of the heel. Unfortunately, yes, it is printed and not stitched. Most Air Jordan 11s are printed, that's just what they do. The stitched versions are more for the more special edition version of the 11s, which I thought the holiday release was, but apparently it's not, so we're getting a printed version rather than a stitched version, but whatever, it's fine. Then finally moving down on the sneaker, you get to your classic white Phylon Air Jordan 11 midsole, and rounding off the entire look, you've got an icy blue outsole accented by these red pods on the midfoot and on the heel, and then on this cherry colorway, you get a red and black carbon fiber plate. So overall, is the Air Jordan 11 Cherry a must cop? Well, in my opinion, if you love the Air Jordan 11s, or you collect Jordan 11s, at least the holiday releases, then absolutely. If you like Air Jordan 11s and you like this colorway, it's definitely worth it if you can drop $225 on this shoe. If you don't care about Air Jordan 11s, I think the choice is clear. You don't need to grab this shoe. It's not an OG colorway. If you're trying to collect OG Air Jordan colorways, you don't need to grab this shoe. That being said, I really do love the way this sneaker looks. Air Jordan 11s are easy to rock with a lot of different things because they've got that sort of dress up and dress down look because of the patent leather. It's a great all-around shoe. The retail price is a little bit high, but that's just what we've come to expect from Jordan Brand at this point. And overall, this is a shoe that I personally will absolutely be going for when it finally releases on December 10th. But hey, at this point, I would love to know your thoughts on this shoe in the comment section down below, and I will see you all in the next one.